Hey, you ate worms, huh? How are you doing?
Hey, Ange. What's going on?
All right. So let's wait for just a moment to get some more people in here. Let's see here.
She's all, I met spaghetti. Oh, what is going on, everybody?
Mint spaghetti, huh?
Can you guys hear us well? We were having some mic issues before we started. I think more than likely we fixed everything.
I think so.
No.
Just waiting for a moment until we get a few more people in here, and then, yeah.
Yas.
Yeah.
Yas.
Yes.
So.
I don't like it this way. Here we go. Okay.
What?
Trying to send things out on here.
Oh.
It's a pain in the ass.
I can do this.
Anyway.
I can do this.
All right, let's get started, guys.
Okay, I can't do this. What the hell? Did it super glue this one on? I need a bottle opener.
I don't know how to help you, but let's get started. So I guess what we will actually start with here is trigger warning. These people are very brutal that we're going to be talking about, and they're free. Like, they're literally free. Also, this presentation is for educational purposes only. How you use this information is your responsibility, and I will not be held accountable for any illegal activities. So don't be a dumbass.
Yeah. Where is a bottle opener?
I don't know.
Make me drink stouts right now.
And warning, the related content may be disturbing to some individuals. And one more thing here. Under the fair use laws, another author may make limited use of the original author's work without asking permission pursuant to 17 U.S. Code 107. Certain uses of copyrighted material for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, including multiple copies for classroom use, scholarship, or research is not an infringement on copyright.
Yeah.
All right. So
What?
We're going to get into this tonight, and we're talking about 5 brutal murderers who are free.
That are actually free, yeah.
Currently free.
Which we're going to start off with?
We're going to go from 5 down, and then what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the number 1 on the list. Next week, we will be talking about number 2 on the list, and we're going to go back. We're going to do a whole series. So just to let you know, Akaw and Hex.
I got it with the knife. I'm sorry.
Akaw and Hexus couldn't make it tonight, but they will be back on Friday to finish up what we have started.
They're always here to finish up what we have started.
Hey, Jeannie.
Hey, Jeannie.
Hey,
Hi,
Calvin.
What's
How are
going on?
you? All right. So let's start with I have to pick-
Nicholas.
So his name is, this is him, Nikolai Dzumgaliev.
So wait, was he a cannibal too?
Wait,
or
Dzumgaliev, whatever. He's from Kazakhstan.
Nikolai?
We'll just call him Nikolai.
Nikolai,
He's
Eastern Bloc, Europe. There you go. That's what we'll call him.
Yes. So, no big deal. Let's see. Sorry, I was responding to a text that I got. I said no big deal.
Oh, I thought you were saying this.
No, Steve the Cat said he wasn't going to be able to make it.
Oh, okay.
No worries. You're good, man. So, this is Nikolai. Let's get him off the screen. Bring us back on. And he's from Kazakhstan. Why you don't want to meet him? He is as close to the real life Hannibal Lecter as you can get. The main difference is that he has metal teeth.
Well, so is this metal teeth that he was given as in like
I don't really know, and
once?
Keep in mind these little ones we're just touching base on right now.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go deeper into information on them later.
Okay.
So we're just gonna get down to our main guy today, which is Issei Sagawa.
Yeah.
But so operating in 1980 in the former Soviet Union, Nikolai is one of the most prolific serial killer cannibals the country has ever seen. He was affectionately called Metal Fang for the set of white metal teeth which had replaced his own chompers, making him sort of, a hybrid between Hannibal Lecter and Bruce from Jaws.
You mean?
I was going to say Jaws from James Bond.
Yeah,
but,
I was thinking that.
But I still like Bruce. So he's
so is Bruce at Universal Studios or is it Universal Studios Orlando?
No, he's at Universal Studios. Ours.
What's the one that's at the Orlando?
They had multiples for the movie. They didn't just have one Bruce.
I know, but they named him different things, right? One was like David or Jeff or something like that, right?
No, they're all Bruce.
Oh, no, that's
the name of the shark in Jaws is Bruce.
Bruce.
His name's Bruce. Oh, hey, Chris.
Hey. What's going on?
You guys should have on Tazia. I'm going to butcher this name, and I'm so sorry. Zlaya Croft from Woods of Terror as a guest when you talk about serial killers. That would be awesome.
We were having a back chat with a couple days ago talking about the Woods of Terror.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So,
hey, Lucas. Carl, what's up? We'll see you on Friday, man.
I'm going to teach Carl how to shoot guns. He's from Sweden. He doesn't know anything about guns. Not one thing.
Guys, he was in Bosnia.
I'm kidding.
Just letting you know, he was in Bosnia. We need to revisit. We need to revisit our Christmas special and talk more with Carl about Bosnia.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was. We were talking Dr. Kevorkian, and it just went.
It ended up Bosnia.
And also, he started telling tales about Bosnia. I was like,
and we were like,
we already know about Dr. Kevorkian. Just keep talking. Oh, Frank's being an asshole. What's up, Tom?
Hey,
let's just get this fucking over with. God.
No pie for you. I'm the one bringing pie. I know that Dina is making some bomb ass pies, though. I'm just bringing sweet potato pie.
Never mind. I'm not going to say that.
Do the theme song for Jaws. Donna. Donna.
I always start doing the theme song for Jaws in my head, and it turns into Hello, Mutta. Hello, Fada. I don't know why it always connects that way. Hi.
Hey.
Oh, is it Elizabeth or is it?
It's both of them, probably.
Oh, I mean, if Tom Noir wants to call me his lovely, I have
He's
no
all,
problem with that.
Hi,
My lovely.
All right, so let's get into this before we end up like with a 20-parter. So he is said to have killed Nikolai, the name I cannot pronounce, last name Dzhumagalieve.
We can say Nikolai these nuts if you want to. I can't pronounce his last name either. That the Eastern Bloc Russian Slavic stuff is hard.
Carl says, hey, Kevorkian's patients wanted to die. Those turkeys in Bosnia wanted as well. And you gave them their wish, Carl. All right, so let's get back into this. And let me say what I had to say for a second, because this is hard. Zhumagalieve. I can't say his name.
Let's see if
This is his last name.
Let me see it. Zhumagalieve.
Yeah, sure.
Zhumagalieve.
You're closer than me.
Hello, I am Zhumagalieve from Eastern Bloc Russia. I am here to eat your children.
Kazakhstan.
I'm from Kazakhstan. Hey,
Nadine! Okay, squirrel. So he is said to have killed and eaten somewhere between 50 and 100 women. I was waiting for that joke there. And even served a few portions to his friends.
You know, the thing with this being like Kazakhstan, especially like back in Soviet control, more than likely the friends already knew they were eating people because starvation and all that other stuff.
It's people
People prosciutto.
prosciutto.
That is not people prosciutto right there. That looks really good, actually. We're going to show you a pic here real fast. Supposedly, is that what he did?
Yeah.
Did he make people prosciutto?
Prosciutto?
I freaking love prosciutto.
He made people... Oh, it's not going to let me show it!
Downloads. Go to downloads.
No, it... there we go.
There we go.
People prosciutto! Ready, guys? People prosciutto.
Did he put mushrooms on it? He put raw mushrooms on it. That's not...
I'm pretty sure this is just from, like, one of those hibachi places.
You mean where they charge you to cook your own meal?
Yeah.
It's really good. I love
it. You've eaten about 50 to 100 women?
Every time I'm sorry. That reminds me of...
I was waiting for the comment.
I didn't... It's just too simple for me. I was like, let's let someone else have it.
So... No, this guy is not made up, by the way.
No, he's not.
Look. He said, looks like my last gynecologist appointment.
Who said that?
Carl, I sent you a voice file with the pronunciation. Should I do this?
Yeah.
Where is it,
We're
Carl?
going to do it live right now. Is it on...
Audio. Hold on. Ready?
Are we doing... Okay, here we go.
Looks like Zhumagalieve.
Zhumagalieve.
So I was close.
Closer than me.
I was actually close when I said it. So, okay, so it's from...
Oh my God.
From backwards R to upside down B, right?
From A to backwards R. Yummy human meat. Yeah, Yum, yum, yum.
Real fast before we get into this, if you had the chance to try long pork?
No, I don't think I would.
Are you sure?
No, because I don't know what. Okay, look, are they free range? Are they eating well? Are they organic?
Let's say all. Honestly, let's say all the above. Let's say all the above.
No.
Would you? No diseases, no nothing.
No,
like that.
because people are gross.
Free range, eating right. No exercise.
Nargle frunk switch. Come on.
Did Carl just put a Swedish curse on us?
I think so.
Did he just call the Nargle front switch on us?
Can we continue? So, why you might meet him anyway. After being sentenced to a mental institution in Uzbekistan, he escaped once. The government decided that less than 10 years of rehabilitation was enough and was like, well, we're not going to look for him.
Fucking Uzbekistan. I keep thinking of Borat. Hey, it's Uzbekistan. Hey, fuck you.
So basically, this guy escaped the loony bin. And then they were like, well, you know what? He's been in for 10 years. Whatever.
The issue, though, is it's Eastern Bloc, Eastern Bloc Europe. They're under Soviet control. There was really, besides the police state coming down on people, they didn't, like, look at what's his face, the Rostov Ripper. I can't think of his name right now. He was able to go for so long murdering people because it was Eastern Bloc. Chikatilo, there you go. It was Chikatilo. He was able to go so long because they just didn't care about that stuff until the fall of the Soviet Union. Her vagina hang like sleeve of wizard. First she's young and now her voice drop and it's Borat, and her vagina hang like sleeve of wizard now.
Okay, so where is Nikolai now? Very little is known about his current whereabouts, though he is said to be living with some relatives in Eastern Europe. However, being a free man and all, he can travel anywhere he pleases, perhaps a place where almost no one has heard of him.
Oh, exactly. Well,
like where you live, for example.
No, he's not going to the United States. That is
joking.
I'm just saying.
It's a joke.
Tom's laughing. I've watched that movie a million times. Even the second one's really good too.
It really was.
I mean, after all the PC stuff that he put in there, it still was really, really funny.
So Nikolai has actually been described as very charming, very well spoken, and not too bad looking.
Can we put a picture up of him right there of him having a barbecue? This is a recent pic.
Yeah.
This is him having a barbecue, I guess, with his family.
I spelled Nikolai wrong, but I don't care.
Well, it's not going to show the name, but either way, it's weird that how like Europe works with like their killers and stuff like that. I mean, in Norway, you can only spend 20 plus 1 years in prison, regardless of what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Then they're released and stuff like that. That's what happened with Varg Vikernes and stuff like that.
Okay, it's kind of blurry. You might want to squint, but this is him just chilling. That actually looks like where my grandparents live.
Oh, that is he. It almost Carl. Back me up here. Is that Switzerland? Have you been to Switzerland?
Why are you asking him if it's Switzerland? He's Swedish.
No, but he's been. Like I did with the Toblerone.
Like you did with the Toblerone.
No, I'm being serious because I thought Carl has actually been to Switzerland. That looks like the Swiss Alps.
That's cool. You get sentenced to 10 to 15. You escape after 9 years, 10 months, and you're good.
Well, Varg Vikernes,
he was almost out.
He was almost out. They released him on work detail, and he just went off and did a whole bunch of meth and got put one more. Got stuck in there for 1 more year.
And now he has a family and lives in France.
Lives in France because Norway's like, get the hell out of our country because of all the stupid shit you did.
And then he's like singing, well, I'm never going to survive unless little
He does
crazy.
a good job. He's actually a really good singer. Sorry.
You discovered Colorado. Fucking Colorado.
Oh, the stoner's got one thing wrong, right?
Joey!
Hey, Joey, what's up?
So, and Joey, I did get your messages. I haven't been able to reply. I've been not feeling good all day. All right. So, next we are talking about Karla Homolka. Let's get that picture up there. This is her and her husband, Paul Bernardo. Again, we're going to get more in detail in a later episode about her.
We're basically setting up, like we said before, we're actually setting up a series to talk about each one of these guys, but we wanted to really just touch base on where they're at now.
Yeah.
So, and Karla Homolka participated in rape and murder with Paul Bernardo.
Going to talk about that right
now. I know. And she worked a deal and only spent 10 years in jail, and he's still in jail.
She's written books. She has a podcast. So do a lot of these people that we're talking about, which is really weird.
Well, people want to hear what they say, and they'll pay regardless. And that's.
Is she single? I think so. She actually did try to change her name, and they wouldn't let her.
Yeah, Canada would not let her. Canada really did not let her. She lives in Quebec, somewhere near
Quebec.
I fucking hate Quebec.
Quebec.
She lives outside of Quebec somewhere, and they still they would not let her change her name because she has been doxxed a whole bunch of times. People do not let her rest.
Good
for what she did. Oh yeah, very much so.
Okay, so she's from Canada. Why you don't want to meet her? Well, let's say you're a woman, and let's say that prior to your wedding, your husband-to-be expresses one wish. He wants to rape your sister.
Yeah.
And if your immediate reaction is, Let's do this.
Yeah.
Awesome. Then you're probably Carla Homolka.
Okay, so this is going to get really graphic here. She actually, not only does she let it happen, she participated in it. She participated in incest with her sister. I mean, her sister was completely passed out on drugs, and then she administered the wrong dose because she worked for a vet.
Well, we're going to get more into that when we talk about her.
Yeah. But yeah,
But when the sister died during the course of their adventures of unspeakable horrors,
their adventures. Did this just turn into serial killer adventure time?
Adventures of unspeakable horrors. hey, that's legal in Mississippi.
It is actually.
I thought that was first cousin.
First cousin's legal in Mississippi?
I think so.
Are you serious?
Actually, I think it might be second cousin, but I don't know.
I mean, if it's
I'm
legal,
joking, but I'm not sure. There is actually a cousin clause.
there is a cousin clause. I think it's as long as it's not your
Direct relation.
It can't be direct relations and stuff like that. It has to be
Rape help.
rape. That's funny. It can't be it can't be direct relations or something like that. That's what it is.
So, Carla panicked and actually gave herself up and called the police, right? No, actually, she didn't.
No, she didn't.
So she and her husband instead decided to do it again to another victim.
Hashtag me too. Carla Homolka raped Tom Noir.
So there's a checklist for gross and cruel, and they went for maximum numbers of check marks. Yes, they did. So they started with her sister, and then they continued to do this. They actually, they did. I think there was she got. Well, I'll get into that in a second. Actually, pound. So it's pound me too. All right, so they ended up being a husband and wife serial killer team. The rampage only ended when Carla was charged with 2 counts of manslaughter in 1993. She then held a going away party before going off to jail with an amusing cake decorated something like, "This cake is to die for."
She knew what was coming, and she also knew, we'll get more into this too, they had hundreds and hundreds of hours of sex tapes that they did with these girls and stuff like that. And they actually, she knew it was coming, and she was like, I better go ahead and get to the cops first and actually get this information out there first and cut a deal and get him in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And so check this out. I hate to say it. She's actually quite hot, but
the psycho ones are, man.
So you see her here, right? You just see this girl. She is a vicious serial killer.
Yeah.
These are all serial killers, by the way. This isn't just like, oh, these people did one thing. And they're all free. Everybody we're talking about is free.
So Paul Bernardo actually more than likely did. Hey, Mikey, what's up? Paul Bernardo actually didn't. From what they're saying, he more than likely only killed a couple of them. She did the killing.
That's still serial killing?
No, it is. It is. I'm saying
but he's not free.
He did the rapes and she did the killing.
So, as bad as Carla was, apparently Paul was worse. Despite a mountain of conflicting statements from Carla and Paul, she managed to get a plea bargain in exchange for rolling over on her man.
Well, this was...
she served 12 years in prison and released in 2005. And so, where is she now?
Oh, she's, like I said, she's living outside of Quebec. Has her own podcast. Has a lot of stuff.
Well, we're getting into that. Jeez, I've got notes.
I'm sorry, I forgot. I
I
thought you were asking me a question.
I was not. You pause for dramatic effect.
I don't pause for nothing. Except while I'm playing Metroid. I pause to get more beers to keep playing the game.
We're doing great, Mikey. Thank you. God.
Sorry.
Stop burping IPAs at me.
I didn't mean to. It's my love call.
Basic white bitch beer.
It is not basic white bitch beer. My stouts, actually, I love my stouts, but they didn't have stouts at the liquor store today.
Okay, so where is she now? In 2007, Homolka decided that the only place for her and her 1-year-old son to live a normal life were the Antilles. So now she can be anywhere in Cuba, Jamaica,
Cuba.
Haiti, Dominican Republic, or Puerto Rico. You might think that Latin America is not the perfect place for a skinny Canadian blonde to hide out, but we don't know how to finish that
I
sentence.
actually doubt that she's in an American
I don't-
territory.
I don't actually know
She's
how to finish that sentence.
Puerto
so-
Rico, she is not in American territory. Freaking only occasionally. Every now and then.
Peach Melba pie.
My grandmother was named Melba.
That's what I was thinking.
She really was.
That's what I was
Her
thinking.
name was Melba.
Your Honor, I have a vagina and I'm pretty. He used me.
No, I know we're going to get into it later, but I actually want to say that what happened was she went to the cops, made the deal, turned him in, then they found the tapes, and because thanks for that mental image. Right? I got a story to tell about that too.
Okay,
Like,
look it, half hour. We're
So-
not even through the second one.
they went to the cops and all sorts of stuff. Then they went to his house, found all the tapes, and they could not go after her.
Yeah.
They couldn't go after her because she already cut the deal. Everything was done with her. She basically just had to go through the trial just as whatever, just to go through the motions.
All right, so she's somewhere in the Antilles, right? So either way, no matter where she is, if you're on vacation, you spot a MILF, in her late 30s, and want to make sure that she's, not she's your type or whatever, not the kind that's a raping killer type, then just remember that courts have denied her to change her name. So a quick, hey, Carla! She may even turn around.
Hey there, Homolka.
Yeah. And this would be your cue to run. Run.
Would it? Because she's not killing dudes.
Okay, so I would run. Jeez.
She's crushing puss. Sorry.
I told you.
U.S. Commonwealth?
Yes. So now we are going to get into yet another one.
Girl.
You know what? Let's go to commercial first so that we can get into this. We'll be right back.
This is Mikey from Out of the Ordinary, and you're watching PBDC TV.
Oh, hi. First thing in the morning, when I'm listening to music and getting a little bit of time for some creepy research, I'm always representing with my PBDC merch. What a better way to have a cup of coffee in the morning.
Don't forget to check out our other cool merch at rootsbleedred.com. That's rootsbleedred.com.
This is Professor Edgar Fluffosaurus from Spooky Tales with Steve the Cat, and when I'm not hosting Monster Chat or knocking down small Japanese cities, I'm watching PBDC TV. Now back to the show.
All right, we're back.
We're back from our mini-series time.
Hey, Susan.
Hi, Susan.
Oh, welcome back, Jeannie. Hello, Kisa.
Hi, Keeson.
Thank you so much for sharing, Susan. And, all right, let's get back into this. So, Carl must have left, but the next guy is from Sweden. His name is, hopefully I'm not butchering this too bad, Juha Valjakala. Okay. His name is Juha Valjakala, I think. I said that right.
I think so.
And apparently he really loved hair metal.
Oh, no. What is that, a shotgun?
Yeah.
Is that a sawed-off shot?
I found
Do
this
they
picture.
give Swedes sawed-off shotguns in like jail?
I don't know, but I saw this picture and I couldn't help but grab this one. So this is him when he got arrested. And so, why you don't want to meet him? Well, on July 3rd, 1988, when he was 22 years old, he stole a bike. He was spotted and chased down by the owners.
Freaking pronounce it like that. You better start pounding back the
Did
white
I
claws.
sound like a Valley Girl or something? Thank you. Without my glasses, he looks like Janice.
Hi, Sharon S.
What's up, Sharon S? He looks like Janis Joplin.
He does.
Wait a second.
He does look like Janis Joplin.
Okay, kind of see it. I squinted.
Okay, so he looks like Janis Joplin. Can we find a serial killer, a male serial killer that looks like freaking Mama Cass? We'll just give him a ham sandwich to choke on. She really died from choking on a ham sandwich.
I know, it's kind of sad.
She was a great singer, but
It's a little funny when there's a heavy girl who dies from
I'm surprised Alanis
But
Morissette
anyway.
did not write a song about that.
Isn't it ironic?
It's very ironic.
Oh my god, male version of Janice. Okay, let's get into this. So, he stole Sten Nilsson's bike, and he was chased down by Sten and his 15-year-old friend Frederick. The chase ended at a nearby cemetery where, cornered and facing a bike theft charge, Juha used the grand theft auto method of avoiding misdemeanors.
He killed hookers?
He shot and killed the father and son.
Oh, I thought he killed hookers. Carl, well done.
I said it right!
He's Finnish.
He is. He's Swedish and Finnish.
But he's also Finnish with killing too.
We ruled them for 600 years.
Why'd you stop? What happened? I'm kidding.
Oh, thank you. I have fun with it.
Yay.
Motipas.
All right.
It's awful. A ham sandwich. I know.
She really did die from a hand. She choked on it. And it's sad.
It's
She was a
really
great
sad,
singer, but
slightly funny. I'm sorry.
yeah.
So suddenly realizing that he had just made his situation quite a bit worse, he thought, hey, you know how I'm going to redeem myself? I'm going to go back and kill Sten's wife. He went back to the house and killed her.
That's very Edmund Kemper.
And he was arrested a week later.
Is that all he did? He just killed 3 people and
Well, so
I'm not saying that's all he did.
No.
I'm saying I'm not.
So why you might meet him anyway?
Well, he's released.
Well, after an evaluation labeled him a psychopath, money well spent, Finland, Juha escaped from prison 4 times. And I think the most recent one was 2006. The legal system over there decided that this was a pretty good indication that he was reformed.
Look, he really wants to go home, guys. Let's let him go.
And cured of his psychopathy. So
He's clearly cured.
after serving 19 years of his life sentence, he was paroled.
Carl, do they in Sweden? Serious
In
question.
Finland.
Is he in Finland? I thought he was in Sweden.
He was apparently, he spent,
Oh, he was extradited to
Yeah.
Finland. Okay. So, do they have the same system that Norway has, where it's basically like no matter what, when they hit the 20-year mark, you're going to be released, or is it?
well, I mean, that sounds, I know that Norway is like the 20-year mark, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I want to say so because all the black metal guys who went to prison spent 20 years in there. Faust did the same thing. He was
Yeah.
pretty much in there 20 years after killing.
yeah.
And Faust is an incredible drummer, but he is very much a sociopath and very much,
Sociopath. He's a psychopath.
yeah. But he's a really good drummer.
He's a really good drummer.
Great drummer, but he lured
Doesn't
someone off into
like-
the woods and
yeah.
murdered them. And then he got away with it for 2 years and couldn't take it that he didn't have the fame from it. And then basically started bragging that he killed someone. And then that's when they put him in jail. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Calvin corrected you. Mama Cass actually had a heart attack.
While choking on a ham sandwich.
They found half an eaten
I'm-
sandwich on the table, so everyone said she choked on a ham
I'm
sandwich.
sorry, Calvin. I thought that was true.
Anyway, so after being released, Yuha did what any man in his position would do after spending almost 20 years in jail for brutal murders.
Cocaine and hookers.
He stole a car, drove recklessly through the streets in a surprisingly specific crime, drove an unlicensed taxi.
Okay, so is he back in jail again?
He's basically
Or they're like,
Grand Theft Auto. I'm sorry, he's basically
so he, the Finns are like, nah, just let him stay out. We're not even messing with this shit anymore.
okay, so Carl says standard murder sentence in Sweden is 8 years. Released after 2 or 3. Life is usually changed to a specific time after like 10 to 15 years. Not really sure.
Wow.
Let's move to Sweden.
thought it was just-
joking.
Let's move to Sweden so we can create our own show content, right?
So Calvin said I thought it was true too, so I looked it up. He went from being a serial killer to a car thief. He went from being a bike thief to a serial killer to a car thief.
Yeah, he didn't do it properly. In Grand Theft Auto, you're supposed to go,
Bike, car, hookers, murder.
yeah, hookers. No, you murder hookers after you steal a bike, and then you take their money, and then you go in the garage, and the cops can't find you, and then that's that. I'm kidding.
So this little stunt caused him a trip back to the Slammer. But if you were just starting to feel a little bit safer and planning a vacation out to Sweden or Finland, then we have a little bit of bad news for you. He has been released again. And given his apparent passion for automobiles, unlicensed taxis
Automobiles.
in particular, who knows where he is now?
Yeah, there's a lot of woods and everything in Sweden and Finland and Norway and trolls and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure he's just living out there doing his thing with hookers and blow and stuff like that.
Hookers and blow. All right, so next we are talking about Pedro Lopez. Here he is. Doesn't he look so welcoming? Just such a nice guy. So nice.
He got released right after this picture, right?
Something like that. So he's from Colombia. And he's actually number 2 on our list of bad guys here.
Just-
And why you don't want to meet him? Well, here's the thing you need to know about this South American killer, serial killer. He confessed his crimes to the police, and they refused to believe him. They listened to him tell his story and glanced at each other, and they kept saying, "Okay, whatever, bullshit, get out of here."
Well, I mean, Kemper did the same thing. He
And
confessed his crimes, and then they're like, "Oh, Mr. Bumblebutt, you're being funny. You didn't do that."
Living off the grid, yeah, probably. But then a flash flood uncovered a mass grave of his victims.
I do vaguely remember this one. I was listening to a podcast on him, I think.
He killed over 300 girls in Peru,
Mhm.
Colombia, and Ecuador.
It wasn't his girls. I think it was actually boys and girls. He was a child molester and all stuff. I do
Yeah.
remember this one, yeah.
So finally, after confessing and not being believed, and they finally get this mass grave uncovered from freak incident, the authorities put him in prison in Ecuador and then explored ways to attach the entire prison to a rocket and fire him into the sun.
Okay, that's straight up a joke. Right
I'm joking.
I know. That's actually in our notes. Was like,
Justice.
huh? They're trying. The Colombians are trying to do that. I was like, no, you guys have way too much cocaine on your hands. You guys are actually trying to do this.
You know, we just watched Anthony Bourdain, the episodes where he goes down.
Where he was in Colombia and he was
totally coked
sweating balls the entire time. I'm like, and it's
this
like
is their plan.
and
right
it's like
here.
the middle of winter for like the countries below the equator and stuff like that. Like we're like, how are you sweating right now?
So why you may end up meeting him anyway? Well, it turns out Ecuador does not have a death penalty. So Pedro, who served the maximum sentence of 20 years, was secretly released in Colombia in 1999. So he served about 3 weeks for each person he killed.
Well, so the Ecuadorian and like Peruvian prisons and like that are actually pretty harsh. For him to survive that, he might deserve to be released because they're the worst prisons out there. Absolutely the worst. But
It's like the dumbass song, Good Old Boy.
Just a good old boy.
It's okay if you didn't mean it. Shit. All right, so where is he now? Well, there's two possibilities. He could be in Ecuador, which is the place where he killed most of his victims, an average of 3 per week. In his own words, I like the girls in Ecuador. They're more gentle and trusting, more innocent.
He did a lot more like open markets and all stuff where he was actually like pulling kids and stuff like that from the markets and stuff like that. He also too, there's also a good chance, more than likely, there was some village justice when he was released and they found him.
No, he was actually being pursued by Interpol as recently because of a murder in 2002.
So
there's one more possibility, a country where Latino immigrants have been going to disappear, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and they're not going to get expedited.
It's not just that too. There's so many the rainforest and all stuff. There's so many villages in there that no one knows about. It just they just come into the cities or they sell their own stuff and they make their own way. And like it's so easy. It's vast. Like he can literally do what he has to do and get away.
He could be anywhere.
Yeah,
he could be here. He could be.
Oh yeah,
in the middle of the forest.
How things are done here in California, it's easy for him to get past.
Easily be in California.
Get past Guatemala, get past Mexico, get into California, all this other stuff. He could easily be here.
Yeah. So now we're going to get to our main subject.
This guy. We're probably going to go over because it's the whole. There wasn't a lot on him, but
Issei Sagawa.
He had these fantasies of when he was in school in Denmark. He's Japanese.
Paris, I thought.
Oh, sorry, it was Paris. I think it was a Danish girl he killed, though. Was it?
Well, one of. Yeah.
No, there's only one.
No.
Was there two?
Killed more than one. He has killed more than one person, definitely.
But he was only convicted of one.
Yes.
Or not convicted, or it was. We're going to get into this.
So, Issei Sagawa is from Japan, as I'm sure you probably guessed from his name.
Mm-hmm.
And he was a student of avant-garde literature at the Sorbonne Academy in Paris in the early 80s. In 81, he invited a Dutch student, René Hartevelt, into his apartment for a little private poetry reading.
They wanted to translate. He told her he wanted to have the poetry translated.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to say she spoke Japanese and all sort of stuff, or vice versa, back and forth.
We'll get more into that part too. This is the gist of it, and then I have bigger notes right after this.
Okay.
And so, and by that we mean he shot her and ate her, by the way.
Shot her with a rifle.
Yeah.
In France.
So, why you may meet him? Well, after the courts declared him insane and not fit to stand trial, he was placed in a French asylum. However, Sagawa's wealthy father arranged for him to be transferred into a Japanese institution, which, due to some paperwork trouble and a lack of cooperation between Japan and France, Sagawa left after only 15 months with a few pieces of his victim basically still in his teeth. I mean, it was just...
Wait,
it's
15 months?
It's a joke.
Oh, okay, I was going to say.
It's a joke.
I know.
Basically, what I'm saying here is he was released so fast for this.
It was roughly 15 months, roughly 2 years, actually almost closer to 2 years when he was released. And it was because the French it was along the lines too. They didn't want to deal with it. They're like, here you go. We're going to give this back to Japan.
Well,
and we're going to get into that.
So where is he now? He's living in an isolated mansion deep in the woods, which he leaves at various nights to feast on local women. Okay, I'm joking. Sagawa is living life perfectly in the open and public in Tokyo, and enjoying a very a celebrity status almost. He's often a guest speaker at various public events and talk shows, openly talking in graphic detail about his experience of eating human. And he says that it surprisingly tastes like tuna.
Yeah, actually, as of recently, though, he's I think he became bedridden because he's now in his 60s or 70s. He's in his 70s.
He's written 2 books.
2 books.
2 books.
Every asshole writes 2 books. God damn it. Every fucking asshole.
He has written 2 books.
Every asshole writes 2 books. Every dipshit writes 2 books.
He's also starred in movies. And one of them is actually a step-by-step reenactment of his dinner in 1981.
I'm sorry. Not only did he star in movies, he produced pornos. He has.
He also... The Rolling Stones wrote a song called Too Much Blood, and it's inspired by him.
He... Basically, when he got released to Japan, though... Mm-hmm. How he got out, he did get released to Japan, and he was institutionalized in Japan, and they basically found some weird loophole because his family is absolutely rich. Him and Jeffrey Dahmer should be best friends. Yeah, he's so far actually he has not committed any more crimes after this. He has done the same stuff. He just kept doing it, or not doing it. I'm sorry, I'm getting thrown off because I hear voices outside my room right now. He hasn't committed any more crimes or anything like that, but no, the loophole was, it was some weird loophole that he was able to get out. He was able to get out, and they exploited it, and that's pretty much it. He's been out writing books, making money, everything like that. So, hey, a lot of girls beg us guys to eat them.
All right, so let's get a little bit more into Issei Sagawa. This is going to go a little bit over, and then we're going to have Ghoul Radio on right after us. Yep. So, Issei Sagawa, born April 26, 1949. He's 72 years old. He's from Kobe, Japan.
Kobe beef.
Yeah. His occupation, he's an author. His crimes and charges, murder, cannibalism, and apparently the cannibalism was falsely identified as attempted rape.
No, he actually is. I'm sorry. He's also a necrophile too.
Well, yeah.
It wasn't falsely rape. Give me a second.
Can you go check on that, please? Sorry, guys. Puppy problems. So, let me get into this a little bit. So, he likes human sushi. Basically, yeah. All right. So, Issei Sagawa is also known as Pong, or the Kobe Cannibal. He is a Japanese murderer, cannibal, and necrophile, known mainly for the killing of Renee Hartevelt in Paris in 1981. So Sagawa murdered and then mutilated her, cannibalized her, raped her corpse over and over for several days. Sagawa was arrested but released after 2 years of pretrial detention upon being found legally insane and deported to Japan. Sagawa's release was due to a legal technicality, and his post-release celebrity status in Japan led to international publicity. Not going to bring that one. I'm going to bring it up. Probably also illegal discharge of a firearm.
Well, technically it was.
Within city limits.
I'm pretty sure they popped him on that, but France was like, we don't want to deal with this.
Yeah. So, early life. Issei Sagawa was born on April 26 in 1949 in Kobe, Hyogo Prefecture,
Yeah.
to wealthy parents. Akira Sagawa was his father. He was a businessman who had served as president of Kurita Water Industries, and his grandfather had been the editor of the Asahi Shimbun. Sagawa was born prematurely and reportedly small enough that he could fit in the palm of his father's hand,
Oh yeah, he's actually your size. I forgot about that. He's your height. Like
and immediately developed enteritis, a disease of small intestine. So Sagawa
And
eventually recovered after
only
several
human
injections.
flesh could pass through it.
Sagawa eventually recovered after several injections of potassium and calcium and saline. Sagawa's fragile health and introverted personality led to him developing a strong interest in literature. He attended schools in Kamakura, Kanagawa Prefecture, where he first experienced cannibalistic desires while in first grade, after seeing a male's thigh.
Yeah, he wasn't. It wasn't sexual. He actually just saw it, was like, I wonder what that tastes like. I wonder what I can chew on that. You know?
Well, that explains it all. Human flesh is more easily digested.
I think so.
It might be.
It might be. I mean, like, that goes back to my question. That harkens back to my question. Would you?
No.
People
are gross.
I understand people are gross, but if we had a free range human that we fed all the right stuff.
No, people are gross.
Not only that, we kept them from moving around so much, and they were willing to do this.
Maybe he was low on iron.
Would you, if they were like, here, have a piece of my leg? I mean,
Well,
would you?
So,
Would you
in
have?
a 2001 interview with Vice,
Babe.
Sagawa reported that as a youth, he partook in bestiality with his dog and experienced cannibalistic desires for women. Sagawa attended Waco University and completed a master's degree in English literature.
Wait, he was in Texas?
And in Tokyo.
Oh,
Waco, actually, I think is called, but
Vaco. Sorry, I'm just making jokes.
at Kwansei Gaikuin University. So at the age of 24, while attending Waco, whatever, University in Tokyo, Sagawa followed a tall German woman home and then broke into her apartment while she was sleeping. Sagawa's intent was to cannibalize her by slicing off part of her buttocks and sneaking away with a small part of her flesh. But she woke up! Shocker!
They said it was $1 million wound. Forrest Gump.
That's why I said buttocks.
I got shot in the buttocks.
Well, so get this. His plan was to sneak in and cut off a bit of her booty.
And then walk
away like nothing happened, like she was never going to wake up.
You know...
Okay, first off, why are you going after the big old East German broad? She's going to sit on you. She's going to kick your ass.
Yeah, there's a lot of meat there, though.
He's my height. Yeah. He went for the rump roast.
It's a good cut of meat. It's not. I'm not gonna lie. It's a really good cut of meat. I would probably go for the rump roast.
Carnivore meat tasted bad. Yeah.
Carnivore meat?
Things that eat meat taste bad. They're greasy.
Look, if I was going to raise humans to eat, I would not let them eat meat. I would be feeding them. I'd treat them like Kobe beef.
I mean, tuna's endangered and overfished. So,
Well,
like, why not human sushi?
And there's how many billions of us right now? I'm just saying. Look, Frank, my grandpa used to catch up. I was about to say possums, and feed them cornbread and buttermilk for a couple of weeks, then eat them.
They're actually okay. Possum's actually pretty good.
I've never had possum.
Raccoon's pretty good too, but it's greasy. They're both greasy.
Well, they're game meat. Game meat's greasy. And for some odd reason, goat's greasy too. Which there's this Jamaican place near over here, near where we live. It has actually really good goat. No joke.
Lisa said her mother-in-law did that too. Oh god, they have such good curried goat. Oh god, their oxtails are so good.
Their chicken brown stew is amazing.
So, Sagawa claims that she pushed him to the ground when she started trying to when he started trying to cut a piece of her ass.
Trying to get a piece of that ass.
Trying to get a piece of that ass.
I can't finish that sentence. We'll get in trouble.
Sagawa was captured by police and charged with attempted rape and did not confess his true intentions to the authorities.
Technically, you could be charged with rape for trying to cannibalize someone, right? I mean, that's,
Yeah.
you're trying to take a piece of them.
Well, so Sagawa's the charges were dropped after his father paid a settlement to the victim. So in 1977, at the age of 27, Sagawa moved to France to pursue a PhD in literature at Sorbonne in Paris. Sagawa has said that while residing in Paris, hold on one second. Okay, I really hope you guys didn't hear that, but sometimes our mute doesn't work. So if you heard that, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I had to burp. Anyway, Sagawa has said that while he was in Paris, almost every night I would bring a prostitute home and then try to shoot them. But for some reason, my fingers froze up and I couldn't pull the trigger.
I'm sorry. You brought a prostitute home, try to shoot them with I know it was a rifle he used. There's no way he did that quietly. I think he's actually, I do think, I think he's telling a lie right there, or embellishing and stuff like that. I think he probably had the thought to do it, but
He
there's
just said
no
he
way.
couldn't pull the trigger.
I want to say it was a Mauser or something like that, like he had. There's no way that you pulled a rifle out and like with the prostitute there and on your
Maybe she was asleep.
asleep.
I don't know.
He makes a loud Japanese sex.
So, on June 11th, 1981, Sagawa, then 32, invited his classmate Renee Hartevelt, a Dutch woman, to dinner at his apartment at 10 Rue Erlanger, under the pretext of translating poetry for a school assignment. Sagawa planned to kill and eat her, having selected her for her health and beauty, characteristics that he felt that he lacked. So Sagawa considered himself weak, ugly, and small. He was only 4'9", and
oh, sorry, he's shorter than you. Way
yeah.
shorter. He's like
and
5 inches shorter than you.
His intent was to absorb her energy and beauty
That
because she was 5'10".
that's actually a lot of cannibals intent right there. When they do stuff, it's to become that or to pull the power and all that stuff. Into
Yeah.
them.
Well, so after she arrived, she began reading poetry at a desk with her back to Sagawa when he shot her in the back of the neck with a rifle.
Back of the neck.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Sagawa said he
Christ.
fainted after he shot her, but awoke to the realization that he'd actually carried out his plan. So he then had sex with her corpse, but then he could not bite into her skin because his teeth were not sharp enough. So he left his apartment and purchased a butcher's knife.
He wasn't just like, it wasn't just his teeth wasn't sharp enough. He was also a scrawny person. He didn't have the strength or anything to do that.
Seems awkward and complicated.
You know what? The Japanese overcomplicate everything. That's why they're good at math.
Official story.
And I can't stand the smell of tuna. I love spicy tuna. It's my favorite sushi. I will sit there and eat the crap. I was saying crap out of it, but I will eat a lot of spicy tuna. I love spicy tuna.
Well, anyway. Sagawa consumed various parts of her body, eating most of her breasts and face, either raw or cooked. I mean, those are kind of your two options, but okay. While saving other parts in his fridge. Sagawa also took pictures of the body in various stages of being eaten. He then attempted to dump the remains of her body in a lake, Bois de Boulogne, carrying her dismembered body parts in 2 suitcases, but was caught in the act and arrested by French police 4 days later. So, I'm actually going to bring up a picture here.
Carl says, drinking the blood of fallen enemy,
I already
etc.
pulled that up.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Let's see if I can bring up a picture here.
Of.
Well, okay, let's bring this one up.
Excuse me. I'm sorry.
So, you see at the bottom here.
That's actually from one of his, was it his books or one of the documentaries?
No, he took pictures of himself in various stages eating the body.
No, that actually, he did take pictures of himself, but that is
It's a reenactment.
That's a reenactment of what he was doing.
Yeah,
That's from one of his books or documentaries, or that actually might be the porno he produced too.
maybe. I mean, does this all go back to people prosciutto?
But isn't prosciutto supposed to be like aged and all this other stuff?
Kinda.
You
So
could get away with it if you aged your.
okay, let's not talk about eating people right now. I mean, we could
just
talk about this part of eating people.
Saying, I'm kind of like, I mean, if we get someone who wants to do this,
Sagawa's wealthy father provided a lawyer for his defense, and after being held for 2 years awaiting trial, Sagawa was found legally insane and unfit to stand trial by the French judge, Jean-Louis Broguier, who ordered him held indefinitely in a mental institution. But after a visit by the author Inuhiko Yomoda, Sagawa's account of his kill was published in Japan under the title In the Fog. Sagawa's subsequent publicity and macabre celebrity likely contributed to the French authorities' decision to deport him to Japan, where he was immediately committed to Matsuzawa Hospital in Tokyo. His examining psychologists all declared him sane and found sexual perversion was his sole motivation for murder. As the charges against Sagawa in France had been dropped, the French court documents were sealed and were not released to Japanese authorities. Consequently, Sagawa could not legally be detained in Japan. So, Sagawa checked himself out of the hospital on August 12th of 86, and he remained free. He has remained free since that day.
and he has not committed a crime since either. This is also to Japan does watch.
Yeah.
They did fix this. The Japanese did actually fix this loophole.
Yeah,
right
well, because it's
of
been
him.
criticized
Yeah.
that he's free. People are terrified that he's free, but at the same time, they're oddly
Right now, he can't. I don't think he can walk. I think
intrigued. He's 72.
he's 72. No. Seriously, his brother and family members are actually taking care of him right now because he's 72. I think he's had a couple strokes or something like that. And
we're gonna get into that right here.
Mhm. Well, no. To go back real fast, to go back on like to the French thing. There are a couple things I do actually agree with, like when it comes to like European prison sentences, like Scandinavian prison sentences, that certain crimes you shouldn't be put in there for life, and your whole life is torn up. But this one thing right here, and I know Carl and me are probably gonna have some differences on here because.
Why would you have differences?
No, when it comes to like prison, stuff like that, like terms.
Carl agrees.
Oh,
Anyway,
I'm sorry.
let's not.
I didn't mean to say that. I'm just saying, like, but like this is one of the things where like France did not just want to deal with it. That's all it was. He committed it. He knowingly did this. He planned it out. He's not insane. He should have been just put in French jail for the rest of his life, or at least death row. I don't think they had death row at the time, but
So, between 86 and 97, Sagawa was frequently invited to be a guest speaker and commentator. In 1992, Sagawa appeared in Hisayasu Sato's exploitation film. It's called Uwakizuma Chii Okazume. And it means unfaithful wife, shameful torture.
so
As a sadosexual voyeur, he was invited.
I'm sorry. They're basically saying that it's the wife's fault because of what she did.
Because
And-
she's a cheater. Unfaithful wife.
So it's
shameful
okay
torture.
for her to be
tortured.
Wow.
So Sagawa has written books about the murder that he committed, as well as Shonen a book on the 1997 Kobe child murders. Sagawa has also written restaurant reviews for the Japanese magazine Spa. Sagawa can no longer find publishers for his writings, and he has struggled to find employment now.
it honestly doesn't matter. The family's rich. When his parents died, they all have money.
Sagawa was nearly accepted by a French language school because the manager was impressed by his courage in using his real name, but the employees protested and he was eventually rejected. So in 2005, Sagawa's parents died, and he was prevented from attending their funeral. But repaid their creditors, and moved into public housing.
Yeah,
He receives welfare benefits he did receive welfare benefits for a time. And in an interview with Vice magazine in 2011, Sagawa said that being forced to make a living while being known as a murderer and a cannibal was a terrible punishment. In 2013, Sagawa was hospitalized for a cerebral infarction, which permanently damaged his nervous system. And this is where what you were talking about. He now lives needing daily assistance, which is provided by his younger brother.
that's where I'm saying, like, he is taken care of. The family is wealthy. They're not. It's not like they're not like hurting. He I hate that. Sorry. He is basically working the system trying to get like welfare and all sort of stuff. They have money coming in. There's no way people are buying his books. I guarantee you that.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, so he has stated that he regrets his obsession, but he already did it. So
There's no regret there. There's no. I'm sorry. That's just a sociopath. You know, he's saying that, but really he constantly fantasizes about it.
I always wonder why the legally insane. This would be legislation. I'm not encouraging vigilantism or other crimes.
There's a good portion of the legally insane who aren't insane. I'm sorry. They really aren't. This guy is not legally insane. He should have been put in jail in France for the rest of his life, at least.
So, pop culture. There were documentary films featuring Sagawa. That would be Cannibal Superstar is one of them. Excuse Me for Living. The Cannibal That Walked Free. Interview with a Cannibal. And that's actually the one where he was talking about how difficult it was being known as a murderer and a cannibal and not being able to get a job.
It's so hard being a cannibal and trying to get a job. Bro, you murdered someone and now she can never ever work again. Ever. Yeah. Because you decided to murder and rape her corpse. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry. No, you deserve this punishment, but your family's rich and you get to be taken care of.
Another one was in France called Cannibal.
Yeah.
So a short 86 film by Oliver Smulders, Adoration.
I swear to God, if you're about to say Oliver North, I'm like,
was what is based on his story as well. Too Much Blood is a song by the Rolling Stones on the 1983 album Undercover. And it's about the violence and the media coverage of it. His crime also inspired the Stranglers. The song La Folie. The Noise... What?
Where you at?
The noise black metal band Gnaw Their Tongues.
Where is it?
Also released an EP called Issei Sagawa in 2006.
Is that a Japanese black metal band? Because Japanese black metal is pretty fucking good.
I don't know. I really don't know.
I like Japanese black metal. Abigail is pretty awesome.
I think it says noise. I think it's supposed to say Norse.
The Norse black metal band.
Yeah. I think that's supposed to say Norse. Yeah.
Gnaw Their Tongues. Okay. I'm going to look that up when we're done here.
I've never heard of them, actually.
I've never heard of them. I'm going to listen to
them. So, Sagawa's crimes and later his career as an actor were discussed in a documentary from 2015, Fear Itself by Charlie Lynn.
Fear and Loathing Itself. I'm sorry.
Well, we have gone 9 minutes over. Thank you for sticking with us through that. Yeah. Our next one is actually, we're going to be talking about Nikolai, the guy I can't pronounce his last name.
Can we are we going to be doing something special on Monday?
Oh, Monday. That's right. We are going to be talking about the Kennedy assassination since it is the anniversary of it.
This will be after Steve the Cat is on, though. This is we're not going to be encroaching on anybody's time space here. We're going to be actually we're going to be talking about the Kennedy assassination around what time? 11 o'clock Eastern? Or maybe even a little later than that?
Maybe. We'll announce the actual time, but 58-year anniversary.
Yeah, we're going to get into it.
And we're going to talk about it because it's actually also an interesting day in my family history.
Well, it is very much so, and there's a lot of obviously it's literally the thing that started conspiracy theories. It is
Babushka lady.
All that stuff. Everything came. All the conspiracy theories. All the conspiracists. Everything like that you see now when someone says, "Oh, you're just a conspiracist," that all stems back to the Kennedy assassination. Prior to that, it was everyone just looking up their own facts.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for joining us tonight and sticking with us. Join Mr. Ghoul next.
7:00 we'll.
What movie are we playing?
Oh, I forgot.
It's a really funny one.
Let me back out here real fast. Mr. Ghoul will be playing.
Oh no, Thanksgiving one is going to be really funny.
That's going to be different. Mr. Ghoul is going to be playing a Rope of Hair.
Yep, Rope of Hair is going to be on next with Mr. Ghoul.
Old time radio.
And next week, since it's going to be Black Friday, we have a great one.
We are going to be shooting guns with Carl on Black Friday, so we are not going to be.
We're taking Thanksgiving break.
We are taking a break for that week.
All right. Well, thank you guys for joining us tonight. Have a good one.
See you later.
We knew the world would not be the same. Few people laughed. Few people cried. Most people were silent. I remembered the line from the Hindu scripture, the Bhagavad Gita. Vishnu is trying to persuade the prince that he should do his duty, and to impress him takes on his multi-armed form and says, "Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds." I suppose we all thought that one way or another.